Uh, I'd like to know how to save information in a folder and and keep it like, in one particular folder for each item that I want to save. If I have multiple documents in the
Okay.
same folder,
And what program are you using to create these documents?
I got Windows 10.
Well, Windows 10 is the operating system, but are you creating the documents? Are you going into like maybe Microsoft Word or LibreOffice, or are
It's
you getting these files off
usually,
the internet?
yeah, it's usually something somebody sends me or
Okay.
that I create.
Okay. All right. So let me switch over. I'm going to switch over to a full screen. So we'll be demonstrating this for our live stream videos, and you'll actually be able to watch this over on Facebook and on YouTube. But we'll be actually switching over and showing you this. But let's say we were going out on the web, and I know one place they may not be a popular place, may not be a place you like to go to, but one place I know you can get documents on and you can download is the IRS, irs.gov. A lot of people will be going to the IRS website, maybe to your bank website, maybe to your mortgage company. You'll be downloading statements. A lot of statements will come via PDF. PDF stands for portable document format. Adobe created the PDF format, and of course, there are a lot of other programs that can view the PDFs as well, and even some that will create PDFs. So, so what we want to look at here in the search field, we just want to search for. Let's say we want to submit a W-4. Um, so we can actually just search for this at the irs.gov. Now we're going to click on the folder or the link here. Now what it's going to do, it's going to bring up a by default. Now it's going to depend on your browser, but there are browser settings. I'm in Firefox here. Um, Firefox has 3 lines. You get to the settings. You have to go to settings. By default, your all your downloads are going to go into your downloads folder. But if you want them to go to somewhere else, you need to change that by default. Now, that process is going to be different in different browsers, slightly different because, but you're going to have to go to the settings in all of the browsers. Now, in Firefox, there are 3 lines in the upper right-hand corner, right below the X. That gets you to, that opens up the menu where you can go down to settings. And if we were in Google Chrome, or let's say if we just open up Microsoft Edge, which by the way is based on the same core as Chrome. It's based on Chromium. Microsoft Edge has 3 dots in the upper right, just below the X there. So what we're going to do though is we're going to click on the 3 dot or the 3 lines in Firefox. We're going to go down to settings and left click. Now, again, what you're going to want to do is the location of these is going to be different in different versions or different browsers. But you can actually probably just search, because all of them have, when this is very convenient, you can search for download. And so you see that I have changed my default settings. So it says downloads. The default is save files to, and I could actually select a particular folder that I want to save the files to. But, or I can, what I have done is I've clicked always ask where to save files. So that means that it will bring up a window and it'll probably remember the last place that I downloaded a file from, but I'll
Mhm.
be able to choose another folder if I want to. So so that's how you change, and that's in Firefox. Again, the settings would be very similar, although the location might be a little bit different, but just search for, go into the settings location in Chrome or Edge if you're using Edge or Chrome. If you're using Firefox, go there. And then what you're going to want to do, again, back on the web page that has the file that you want to download, click on the file, and depending on the file, it might be a hyperlink. In this case, this is a PDF, so I can left click on the hyperlink. If it's a picture on Facebook, I would have to right click on the picture and then go down to probably save as or save link as or something like that. You have to look for the appropriate language based on the browser that you're in and based on the type of file that you're actually downloading. But I'm going to click on here again the form W4. So this is a form that a lot of people, if you're an employee, you're going to have to probably, periodically, if you make changes, if you have more children, less children, if you get married, if you get divorced, if your wife dies, if your husband dies, whatever the case may be, if you have a change in the number of dependents that you have, you may have to fill out a W4 form and send that over to your to your accountant or to actually not to your accountant, but to your employer, to the HR department. Now you
Yep.
see, Firefox remembers the last location I downloaded. That's one reason I like Firefox. And the last time I downloaded a form, it was actually I downloaded it to. I have a tax folder, and then I have a tax 2020 folder. But I could browse to any location on my computer, and I typically use my files, but if I wanted to go to documents, I could do that. Let's say I wanted to go to documents and I wanted to click on a new folder and I wanted to maybe I wanted to create a folder for taxes. So I can just say tax. Um, and then maybe inside of that folder, I can double click on that folder. That takes me into the taxes folder. And then inside of that folder, maybe I want to create a 2022 folder. So I can click on new folder and I can type 2022 and hit enter on my keyboard. That actually creates that folder as 2022. And maybe I can just double click on this and it'll actually bring me into this this folder, and I can click save, and that will actually save the file into that folder. And then it's there, it's organized. Again, I just gave you an example. It doesn't have to be the example you use. You don't have to follow the format I use. You want to use something that makes sense to you, and hopefully, um, you know, will make sense to you a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 10 years from now, when you need to or want to retrieve that file. So whatever file it is, again, you can create a folder where you want that file to be stored. You can change the default location. By default, it's going to go it's going to save to the downloads folder. If it does do that, and you don't want to go through changing the location, but maybe you want to move it, you can hold down the Windows key on your keyboard and press E for Explorer. That will launch a file explorer. You can also go down to the bottom taskbar and you should see a Manila folder. You can click on that. That'll open up a Windows file explorer as well. And then you can click on downloads. From downloads, you'll then see the files that have been downloaded into the downloads folder, and you'll be able to actually go in there and you could actually right click on it, go down to cut and left click. By the way, unless you have Windows 11, Microsoft's changed things in Windows 11, but we right click, uh, go down to cut and left click, and then you can go to the location. Maybe you want to put it in documents, and again, you want to put it in the tax folder. So you double click on taxes, and you double click on 2022, and you can put it right there in that folder just by right clicking, going down to paste and left clicking. And I'm not going to do that because I don't think I want to actually move that file that I clicked on. But hopefully that answers your questions. And you know, if not, you can definitely give us a follow up. I know we do have another caller on the line, so if that does answer your questions, we'll just head over to Lynn Um, welcome to a Faster PC Radio, Lynn. How can we help you today? Oh
I
boy,
think we lost Len.
we lost
Oh my,
Lynn.
he was bringing in Len. I was just explaining to him we were about to take a break.
Okay, okay. So he said, you know what? Skip it. I'm out of here.
Well, he waited a while.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, anyway, Lynn, if you're still listening, we truly apologize that you had to wait and we couldn't get you right on the. Hey, you know what? He could have called right at the beginning. You know, sometimes call right away. We'll get you on the radio right away, and that way you can we can get your questions answered. But
Another opportunity is coming up, though.
yeah, that's right. Hey, and you know what? You can even call back now, or we do have another break coming up, and we'll be coming out of that break, and that'll be a great time. Even during the break to get into the queue to be a part of the next segment of a faster PC radio. But file organization. I mean, you kind of think about it. It's kind of like on your computer. It's kind of like a filing cabinet, except um, you don't actually have files and folders that you're pulling out. If you can organize things in put things away in an organized manner, and you can remember where you put them, and then you can actually go to them next time you need them, whether that's tomorrow or later today or next month or next year or 10 years from now or maybe longer, um, that's helpful. So having a method that makes sense to you to organize your files, and you can just look for them on your computer. Now, by the way, I don't actually want this tax folder in on my C drive in my documents. I actually store my tax folders on my D drive, which is a secondary drive. Most people don't really have an extra drive, but um, some of us, and I know there's some people listening that are probably like this. I know I was listening a little bit to the swap shop, Cliff, and I heard you talking about hoarders, and some people might call me a hoarder of files, but
The file hoarder.
a file hoarder. Well, audio files and video files. Well, I have I have audio files from our church going back to I think I know I have 2001. I probably have some older than that, and we have a lot of video files going back several years as well. They take up a lot of room, and hey, those are important to back up though. You're listening to a Faster PC radio heard on this station every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back for the final segment of today's show. Listen, if you want to get your computer questions answered and you haven't called in, now's your opportunity. In fact, this is your last opportunity coming up, 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. You can also head over to our Facebook page, and you can actually, from the Facebook page, you can type your computer questions into the comment section of the live video, and we'll cover them on today's show. But you know what? You've got to get over there right now or give us a call, 772-340-1590, so we can answer your computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC. This is Brian Longworth, host of A Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, A Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to A Faster PC or A
Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in shop and on site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
From the founding of our company, a Faster PC has provided our customers with quality service and computer products at competitive prices. We find that in the current economy, this is more important than ever. A Faster PC recently conducted a market survey and found that our prices are the least expensive in the area. Some of our competitors charge twice what we charge. Perhaps that's why more customers are turning to a Faster PC. We're helping our customers save money by repairing their computers rather than replacing them.
Now, wait a minute. You mean a faster PC saves customers money?
A Faster PC offers the most competitive prices for computer repair in our area.
Wait a minute. Technicians that know what they're doing for less than the competition?
That's right. A Faster PC can handle anything from software installs, virus, spyware, and malware, and those annoying pop-ups to QuickBooks, Metisoft, and SoftIn support, from wireless networks to hardware networks. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. Call 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
Welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. This is the last segment of today's show. We'd love to answer your computer questions, but if you don't call, we can't answer. Give us a call. The number to have your computer question answered is 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590, or you can hop on over to our Facebook page, A Faster PC, and actually from there, you can type your question into the comment section. So again, just a few more minutes to answer your questions. We did want to remind you also that not only can you ask your questions at the Facebook page or by calling 772-340-1590, but you can also watch the video as well. So some of the questions that I'm answering, as I answer those questions, I'll be able actually to show you the steps that you go through to resolve computer problems. And if you're not where you can watch it right now, that's fine. You can watch it at your convenience shortly after the show's over. It'll be up there on our Facebook page. You can get there one of two ways. Either go to our website, afasterpc.com. We have a link that says listen to a Faster PC Radio. If you click on that, it'll take you to our Facebook page, or go to Facebook and search for a Faster PC. We also
Stand
want
by,
to
Lynn,
remind
30
you
seconds.
that in the shop we have technicians standing by today to work on computers and resolve computer problems. We're at 7190 South US 1, and our number in the office is 772-878-5978. And of course, we're here to answer your questions. Well, your computer questions, and we could answer other questions, but we're here specifically to answer computer questions. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. That's right. We are back, ready to answer your computer questions, ready to help you resolve computer problems in the shop as well. And of course, we have been talking about how to make sure what data is, why it's important to back up your data, and we just talked about how to organize your data, answering a call there on today, but we can just want to go over some of the ways that you can back up your data. So when we're talking again about data, what we're talking about is we're talking about pictures, we're talking about Word documents, we're talking about Excel documents, we're talking about PDF documents. So it may be a report you did for school, it may be something that you're working on for your work, it may be even we've even had some customers that have doctoral degrees, and they have doctoral theses. One that actually lost his doctoral thesis because he had it on an external hard drive, only on an external hard drive, and he backed up, didn't have a backup, and that drive died. And that's why, we have customers that say, well, and their computer is running slow, and they say, well, I think I just need to clean up this system. I need to get all these files off. I need to just copy them over to an external hard drive. Well, our first thing is we tell them, well, is it only going to be on the external hard drive? Because an external hard drive is a hard drive, and they die. The enclosures die sometimes. Now, if the enclosure dies, that's not a bad thing, because at a faster PC, we can open up the enclosure, and there's an actual drive in there. We can actually pull that out, connect it to our computer, or even get you a cable where you can connect it to your computer, or another enclosure where you can actually connect it to your computer, and you still have access to your data. That's fine. But when the drive inside dies, well, then you have a problem. Okay, so is Lynn back on the line?
Of course.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry about that. All right. Hey, I missed that, Cliff. Sorry about that. We're back with Lynn. Welcome to a Faster PC Radio, Lynn. How can we help you today?
Yeah, this is Lynn.
Yes.
I have a Toshiba computer
Okay.
laptop. The internal DVD drive stopped working. It gives this message: Windows cannot start this hardware device because its configuration information in the registry is incomplete or damaged. Code 19.
Okay.
Now, okay, that's the end of the message. I took the internal drive out and replaced it with a new one,
Okay.
and the same message comes up.
Okay. So it's not a hardware
I
issue.
also put on an external drive, and that same message comes up again.
Okay.
So what is the problem?
Yeah, so
Thank you.
so there is apparently some corruption in the Windows registry. So what the registry is, it's a hierarchical database of every piece of hardware, which the DVD drive would be one of the hardware components, your video card, your sound card, all these would be hardware components. Your hard drive would be a hardware component, and every piece of software. So it has information about that. And it really controls a lot about that. But there is some corruption in that, and this is in a situation where it's a known issue. If you do a search on Google for the error that you're having, you will find a lot of different articles. You're not the only one having this problem. So but dealing with the registry is something that can be a little bit tricky. And if you make a mistake when you're working in the registry, it's possible that your computer will not function properly after that. So be cautious if you do go into the registry and make changes. If you're not quite sure, not comfortable about that, you can bring your computer to a faster PC. We can help you with that. And typically, what we do is we back up the registry before we do any work in the registry. And then if what we do doesn't work properly, then we can go back to the previous registry entries. So hopefully that will help you out. Again, um, you know, some of our customers are capable of going into the registry and making changes, but if you do go in there, just be cautious, because you can render your computer inoperable, and then you may be looking at a backup and clean install if if to resolve that issue. So again, some of our customers are able to fix things, and some of them just make things worse so that it actually is harder to fix it in the end. But we can help you with that if you do need help. If you want help with that, we can help you with that, and hopefully that will answer that question for you. So we do also on the live video over on Facebook. We actually have a few people that have typed in questions over there. Um, we have Alice says this. She says, when I open my computer, when I go to one of my tabs, so this must be in a web browser. So in a web browser, I'm going to try to explain some of these terms because there are terms that people just throw out, and a lot of people understand what they mean. But I'll try to explain these. So in a tab or in a web browser, you have tabs, and you can actually open up multiple web pages in a tab. And I'll switch over to a full screen on my computer to demonstrate this on Facebook. And so I'm switching over here to that full screen now. So we have tabs at the top, and we can actually go to these tabs and launch various websites. So you can actually click on tab. Now, some people, your computer's not fast enough really to use tabs, but if your computer is fast enough, it can be convenient because you can have, let's say, your email open in one tab. You can have Google Drive open in another tab. You can have a website, maybe a YouTube channel open. Maybe you're just listening to something. You don't need to actually watch it, and you can listen to it while you're working. You can do various things at once, or at least switch back and forth. So anyway, when she goes to one of her tabs like email, Pinterest, her computer opens up multiple tabs of the same, up to 7 of the same, and then I have to close them individually. Um, it may uh, it may happen on all my other tabs. So one thing I would just check for there is just look and see, do you have an issue with your mouse? Do you have an issue with the keyboard? Because typically, and if is this a laptop or a desktop computer where you're using a separate mouse, separate keyboard, or is it a laptop where you have a built-in keyboard and a touchpad? One thing that can happen is you can get a sticky button on the mouse. The way you open up a new tab, and in Firefox at least, there's a plus. Some of a lot of the browsers have a plus. Some of them have a little symbol there for a new tab. But um, however you open that, if I click once, it's going to open up one tab. If I click twice, it's going to open up two. If I click 3 times, it's going to open up three. If my mouse button is sticking and every time I click it clicks 4 or 5 times, it's going to open up 4 or 5 times. So that's one thing I would check for. If it's if you're using a touchpad, try a mouse. See if a mouse works. If you're using a mouse, see if you can if you have another mouse, plug it in, see if that works. If not, get an extra mouse. Borrow one or something just to try out to see if that resolves it. Most likely you're dealing with some sort of issue like that. If you're still having problems, we can definitely look at the computer and see that. Gene asked this, is there a way to use a USB-C device on an older computer with just USB-A ports, like backing up my old computer on a new external drive? So yes, Gene, there is. What you have to get is an adapter. So the USB ports, the the type that actually the larger type that most older computers would have, and some newer computers have these. In fact, a lot of newer computers will have at least one of the older types. They're USB A, and so that type, you what you need is a USB A male to USB-C female so that you can then plug the USB-C plug into it. And we can get those adapters for you. You can get them online as well. We have them because, and we have them the other way also, so that, if we have a device that has only a USB-C and we need to plug a USB-A into it, well, we need an adapter to be able to do that. There are even tablets that we've had that have other types of USB connections that don't have any other connections, and we have connections or adapters from those to USB-A, so that again we could plug a standard USB thumb drive into it or another drive into it. So these are types of things that the adapters are out there, and you can get them. And we have way more adapters than probably most people because, well, you know what? We need a lot of adapters because we never know what we're going to run into. We run into situations sometimes where basically we're out in the field and we have to connect one way because that's the connections that the computer has. And when you have an older computer, you want to back up your data. Maybe you have a new drive that uses the new connector. Well, the new connector is more efficient. It takes up less space. But if you're trying to plug it into the old connector, you just need an adapter to adapt between the two. And hopefully that answers your question. And by the way, Gene's thinking about backing up because maybe we were talking about backing up, so he's thinking about backing up. It's an important thing. One of the things that we always hate to hear from a customer is, I was just about to make a backup. Well, just about doesn't get your data backed up. And most of the time we're able to retrieve data off of drives, but sometimes we can't. And when we can't, if you don't have a backup, you've lost your data unless you pay a lot of money for an outside data recovery facility. So definitely one of the things we want to look at here is making sure that you can back up your data, and you want to have a backup and not need it. It's kind of like preparing for a hurricane. You need to have the food, you need to have the water, you need to, sometimes put up boards, but you hope the hurricane doesn't hit you. We hope you don't have to use the
End
backup.
of today's show, but if you've missed any part of this show or just want to listen to it again or watch it again, because you can do that at our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can not only hear the show, but also see the show. And when we've described and shown you how to resolve computer problems, you can actually see that and watch it over and over again at our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. You can get there by going to our website of fasterpc.com and clicking on the links. We're open today until 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 5. And next Saturday, we'll be open from 9 to 2. We want to invite you to listen to our church radio show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. here on WPSL. The title to tomorrow's sermon is A New Year, New Opportunities for a Better, More Improved You, Part 2. You can listen to other sermons on our church website, covenanttabernacle.com, or our church Facebook page, Covenant Tabernacle World Outreach Center. You can find a Faster PC's Facebook page and YouTube channel by searching for a Faster PC on Facebook and YouTube, or by going to our website and clicking on the links. While there, you can actually watch the show, not only hear the show, but also watch the show and see the steps that we go through to actually resolve computer problems. A Faster PC is conveniently located at 7190 South US 1 on the east side of US 1, just north of Rio Mar. We're also on the web at www.fasterpc.com. Again, that's afasterpc.com. And you can reach us at 772-878-5978. Again, 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Isn't it time that we protect every human being in America, including the preborn, handicapped, and elderly? Go to personhoodflorida.com today to sign the Personhood Amendment to establish liberty and justice for all. Again, that's personhoodflorida.com.
This is WPSL